Do you want an approach to solving money-related dating and marriage issues? If so, stay with me, and we will discuss how. Greetings, daters of all ages. I'm John F. Whitney, author of the book I Do, If It's Equitable, a philosophy for dating and marriage to avoid the potential horrors of divorce. I will be your host and your guide as we discuss the I Do philosophy. This is section 2, video 6 of 9, Equitable Solutions to Money-Related Dating and Marriage Issues. The root of all evil, money. George Bernard Shaw said, "The only way for a woman to provide for herself decently is for her to be good to some man that can afford to be good to her." Aristotle Onassis said, "If not for money, women would have no meaning." A female contestant on the show Who Wants to Marry a Multimillionaire said, "If the man is repulsive, you could close your eyes. With that much money, you could always say, 'I'm going on a trip.' And I say, upon marriage, the man has responsibilities. The woman has choices." From the personal ads. The title, She's Got Legs. Striking 5 foot 4 inch, 125 pound, educated, shy female loves elegant dinners or junk food. Socializing, tanning in warm places. Seeks handsome gentlemen in late 40s or 50s, over 6 feet tall. I don't care how much money, just don't use mine. Smoking okay, no carnivals, just fireworks. This one is entitled Expensive but Worth It. Two sisters, stunningly beautiful, seductive, sensual, who want and deserve only the finest things in life, seek man or men who, in return for spending time with a goddess, will answer our every want, wish, and whim. If you can pay our bills, you fit our bill. Friends first. And finally, kind, attractive, intelligent female, over 35, dreams of a cute doctor with a sense of humor, unattached to plus. Friends first, possible long-term relationship. And people wonder why I'm such a cynic or why I wrote the book I Do, If It's Equitable. The most devastating money-related issues fall into 3 major areas, any or all of which will threaten even the most stable relationship. The lack of money, the inability to live within a given income, financial mismanagement and or irresponsibility. Be assured, money-related issues or problems will eventually take their toll, even in an otherwise stable relationship. For example, whether married or cohabitating, both persons in a relationship require food and shelter, each contributing towards these expenses. If the man loses a week's pay at the racetrack, he likely will put financial and other stress on the relationship. If the woman chooses to quit work, then the man becomes responsible for any lost income, especially if existing debts require that both maintain their income levels. Wants, not properly respected, might put tremendous strain on the relationship, especially if one partner insists upon them or makes them a condition of the relationship. Clearly, the inability to discuss, share, or solve money-related issues, to respect wants versus needs, or to live within a financially appropriate lifestyle before marriage will likely mean a troubled marriage awaits. Why? It is generally accepted that the majority of arguments that occur in a relationship or marriages that end in divorce are the result of money-related issues or problems. It is also generally accepted that during and after divorce, battles over disputed money and property can turn once harmonious couples into merciless adversaries, especially when these battles are motivated by spite, greed, deceit, avarice, and cruelty. purpose of the I Do philosophy is to foster a healthy, stable, growing relationship. Or should it occur, allow for a cordial divorce. Therefore, let's apply the I Do philosophy to money and money-related issues and stomp out this ember before it becomes a forest fire. Learn this. Modern-day relationships and marriages are reputed to be based upon equality. However, if you learn nothing else from this discussion on money, learn this. To paraphrase Yogi Berra, it ain't equal unless it's equal. For example, someone with the money and status of a Michael Jordan marries a cocktail waitress on the same day that someone with the money and status of a Madonna marries a bartender. Financial equality? Never. However, these couples must strive to find financial equity. Why? Financial equity is absolutely essential to a stable, growing, and trusting relationship. If financial equity is achieved, peace of mind for both partners results. Mr. Jordan and Ms. Madonna minimize the risk or amount of their wealth lost in divorce, whereas Mrs. Jordan and Mr. Madonna do not risk vulnerability or abandonment. What to do when each partner's income is not equal? Put another way, how can financial equity be established? Option 1, prorate. Prorate all expenses, each partner contributing his or her fair and equitable share each month. For example, I earn 3 times your salary. I pay 3 times the expenses, but earn 3 times the equity. Next, a fair and equitable percentage is placed by each partner into a joint account. Except for emergency situations, discussion between partners will occur before either takes any money from the joint account. Finally, what remains is deposited into each person's personal account. It cannot be attached, levied, or sought after by the other partner during or after the relationship. Option 2, the lesser income rule. Let the lesser income of the 2 partners determine the lifestyle expectations and entertainment limitations of the relationship. Option 3, common sense. The weakest of all the options, but for some, a common sense approach might help prevent arguments and/or disaster regarding money. For example, dining out 4 nights a week is fun, but can it truly be afforded? If not, then don't do it, or don't be forced into doing it. Finding financial equity in the relationship is only the first step in mastering money. The usual money-related issues must also be addressed. Specifically, the lack of money, or the failure to respect money, will likely impact a relationship negatively. How? Trends or expectations before marriage will likely continue after marriage. For example, if one person is expected to pay for all the dating expenses, they will likely be expected to pay for all the marriage expenses as well. If one person believes what is theirs and what is yours is theirs before marriage, they will likely continue this belief after marriage. If one person wants things that their or your income cannot provide before marriage, these wants will likely continue after marriage. If one person is chronically in debt before the marriage, this will likely continue after the marriage. In short, what price will you pay if you allow this person in your life? In math lingo, we have the what price formula. Their wants, debts, and financial mistakes minus their income equals your obligation. Oh yes, let's not forget the split personality syndrome, which some men claim some women seem to possess. The syndrome goes something like this. Women of today want to be women of today when it comes to issues such as relationship decisions, career opportunities, career advancement, equal pay, etc. However, they transform at will into women of yesterday when issues such as dating and marriage expenses divorce settlements, and the like are discussed. For example, even if they invite a man to dinner, women of today, they still expect him to pay for it, women of yesterday. Oh, the tug of war that can ensue as men try desperately to understand and accept the split personality syndrome. As an aside, most men would argue that it would be useless for them to adopt the split personality syndrome. Why? Because their obligations, role, and what is expected of them during dating, marriage, and divorce are the same today as they were yesterday. Think about it. What about items acquired during the relationship? Financial equity must also be found here as well. The guiding rule is simple. Anything acquired during the relationship comes at a price for the item. The equitable contribution of each partner toward the possession of this item makes this item possible. As an example, let's say she earns 4 times more than he. A dining room set costing $1,000 is purchased. She pays $800 towards it while he pays $200 towards it. Upon divorce, the dining room set is sold for $500. She receives $400 while he receives $100. Neat and simple, right? Finally, the okay then fix it rule. A partner will often involve friends, relatives, and others in your private financial matters, especially if they're trying to get their way regarding a financial issue. For example, she wants and Daddy expects his princess to live in a 6-room, 10-acre, 2-car garage home with a sauna and a pool. If such pressure is applied, your only option is to invoke the okay then fix it rule, which goes like this. If Daddy believes strongly enough that his princess deserves this house, then Daddy can buy it for her or arrange for the financing so you can buy it. Otherwise, do not tolerate such outside interference in your private financial matters. Trends and expectations during dating reveal themselves in many different ways. It often becomes a tug of war balancing these trends and expectations against existing income. For example, dining out. How often, how expensive, and how is it paid for? But the list goes on. Housing, entertainment, automobiles, furniture, travel, to name a few. Each becomes its own valuable learning experience where the limits, expectations, and demands of each person by each person are made known. Along the way, there is ideally a certain amount of give and take. But woe unto any relationship where one or both partners fail to respect financial limits of the wants and needs which arise. If I or we bend or break, then a trend will surely develop which will use the same logic or rationalization to obtain other material possessions that the relationship cannot afford. Fail this challenge at your own peril. Try to learn this as well. If you fail to learn the it ain't equal lesson, then at least try to learn this. Be absolutely certain to settle money-related issues before marriage. Do not ignore them, but believe they will be solved during marriage. The financial risks are too great. Why? The current divorce system will not protect you from a person who entered marriage for reasons of greed. Nor will the current divorce system protect you from the person who gives nothing tangible to the marriage, but expects much in material and financial return from it. Perhaps this is a good time to repeat the appropriate will behave and we believe and we expect items. From will behave and we expect. I will not expect anything of my partner that I cannot or will not expect of myself. I will not expect from my partner any material possession that I can earn for myself or that I cannot afford by my own means. I will not impose a financial burden upon myself or my partner. I will not consider my partner as a means to a financial end. I will not obligate the partnership and therefore my partner in any personal, social, or financial matter without first discussing the matter with them. I will not expect to gain more from the relationship than I have equitably earned. I will not expect to leave the relationship in a financial or social position greater than I had upon entering it, unless I have equitably earned this financial or social increase. From We Believe. Any material possessions or financial gains earned by each partner prior to the relationship remain in their sole possession and control during the relationship. These material and financial gains are not and do not become an asset of the marriage. Neither partner will demand a lifestyle greater than one his or her own income would make possible. Upon divorce, I will forfeit any advance in lifestyle that is the result of the other person's income, unless otherwise accepted. Common expenses of the relationship will be met on a prorated equitable basis according to the take-home income earned by each partner. An accepted percentage of each partner's income will be deposited into a joint account. What remains is deposited into each partner's personal account and cannot be levied, attached, or sought after during or after the relationship. If both partners are working, both will remain working until both agree to a change. Any and all other income sources are not subject to the prorated expenses, but are subject to the joint account obligation. Entertainment demands of any partner will not be greater than any that partner could achieve on their own. This concludes our discussion on money-related issues in the relationship. Our next topic will be on protecting the children. I hope you will join me. If you learned anything of value, please consider hitting that like and share button. Leave me a comment, especially if you have a question, concern, problem, or issue we might be able to solve together. Or perhaps you can assist me in improving my presentation to you. Finally, if you feel that I am worthy of your time and effort, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you know when I will upload a new installment of the I Do Philosophy. Until next time, date wisely, date safely, and remember, I do if it's equitable.